Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, October 18th, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Over the last few weeks, controversy has surrounded the Washington Redskins regarding their name. The National Congress of American Indians joins the Oneida Nation of New York in calling for the elimination of all Native American mascots in sports. Representatives with the NCAI say the mascot names play a role in racial inequality and lower the self-esteem among Native American youth. Washington Redskins owner Dan Snyder has repeatedly defended his team's mascot, saying the name is not a label, but instead a badge of honor. But the group says the Redskins is just one of many organizations with offensive mascots. Jacqueline Pata, NCAI Executive Director, said, "It's time for a change. It's no longer acceptable, so it is no longer acceptable for us to hold on to those mascots that continue to oppress a people." A highway twisting through the wilderness of northern Idaho lies at the heart of a battle pitting some of America's most powerful corporations against a small tribe of Native Americans and their allies. And the corporations are losing. U.S. Highway 12 runs through the Nez Perce Reservation in the tribe's historic cultural territory along the Clearwater and Lochsa rivers. It's also the cheapest route for the ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, and General Electric corporations to transport giant oil processing equipment from manufacturers in Asia for use in the tar sands of Alberta and Canada. The shipments, called megaloads, are too big to fit beneath overpasses on larger highways. The Highway 12 corridor is protected from development under federal law as a place of unique natural beauty and environmental value. The Nez Perce fear that the megaloads would harm the habitat of salmon that swarm in the rivers. In August, hundreds of Nez Perce blocked the highway inside of the reservation, halting a General Electric megaload. GE's equipment passed through, but that was the last megaload on Highway 12 to date. On October 10th, a federal judge upheld a ban on any more megaloads traveling down the highway until studies of their environmental, social, and cultural impacts are completed. The Cherokee Nation is heading west with their tribe's mobile registration ID unit to issue at-large citizens in California and Arizona new photo ID Cherokee citizenship cards. The Cherokee Nation will stop in Paris, California, and San Diego the weekend of October 26th and 27th, and in Phoenix area on November 9th. Since starting the upgrade photo ID citizenship cards a year ago, Cherokee Nation's registration department has issued nearly 25,000 of the cards in Oklahoma and 11 other states, as well as Washington, D.C. Members of the Karuk and Yurok tribes are poised to begin the process of extending high-speed broadband service to rural northern Humboldt County, following a unanimous approval of a $6.6 million grant from the California Public Utilities Commission. The money covers just over half of the proposed $12.8 million Klamath River Rural Broadband Initiative project to install an 82.3-mile fiber optic cable from Orleans to Humboldt Bay. Once completed, it will reach 170 businesses and more than 600 households that either currently do not have service or are underserved. The remaining $6.2 million for the project comes from various USDA rural utilities service grants. Hattie Kauffman's gripping memoir, Falling into Place, is being compared to the bestseller The Glass Castle. Hattie's unflinchingly examines a childhood that has readers glued to the book from first page to last. With 3 decades of network television experience with CBS and ABC, Hattie is the first Native American to file a report on a network news broadcast. She has reported on many of the major stories of the last quarter century and interviewed thousands of people. Now she turns her reporter's eye on her own life, and the result is astonishing. From her humble beginnings to the bright lights of network television, Kauffman weaves a story both heartbreaking and redemptive in her new memoir, Falling into Place, a memoir of overcoming. Nationally recognized for her high-profile interviews and coverage of disasters and triumphs that affected millions, Kauffman candidly shares the experience that made her into a perspective and award-winning newswoman. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and have a grand day.